Hello and welcome once again to this Fallout Wasteland Warfare Battle Report series. This is the fourth entry in a 5-part series using the To the Rescue campaign from the Into the Wasteland expansion. The forces of the Mechanist are pushing eastward, tailing a group from the Institute that raided a settlement and carried off some of the settlers. Every moment counts and could make the difference between victory and defeat. However, our heroic band is lightly equipped, so as they cross the wasteland, it's not a bad idea to try and scavenge some items along the way. They don't know what they'll find once they do catch up to the kidnappers, and it doesn't hurt to be prepared. During Scenario 3, and in the intermezzo between scenarios, our Mr. Handy suffered a lot of damage. It was decided that he should head back to the settlement until he can get fully repaired. Fortunately, reinforcements have arrived. A tipsy Robo-Brain has finally honed in on the Mechanist signal and joined in the fight, so for this scenario, the crew is... The Mechanist is leader with their standard kit and the robot controller bonus perk of Program Pick, Program Act, and Men Robot. They also have a Molotov cocktail, a Nuka cherry, and a fresh melon. A free tech who's been reaping the benefits of all the gear we picked up in the wasteland. He's also sporting a red flight helmet, dirty postman uniform, and some robotic bits. He's also got some squirrel stew that he can chow down on if he gets damaged, or hungry. A dapper Protectron. A somewhat busted battered Assaultron. And finally, the newly joined Robo-Brain, equipped with the Robo-Brain arms, Robo-Brain laser, and an Assaultron blade. Its Mesmatron is not online, unfortunately. We also have a set of Tesla coils that I could have attached to one of my robots. However, that can hit friendlies, so I decided to leave it disabled for now. And now we have the scenario map. We're passing through a swampy area with a weak Mirelurk Queen hanging out in the bottom side, a regular Mirelurk in the top left, right by our setup area, a Stingwing in the mid left, a bloatfly hanging by the truck, and a pair of radstags to the right. Like with the other scenarios, the goal is to just get from the left side of the board to the right. However, the next scenario is the final showdown, and the items that are strewn across the battlefield may be useful, so it's a question of if we want to spend time going after the items while risking aggro from the various wasteland denizens. With a Mirelurk so close to our starting position, it was important to set up the heavy hitters in front of the squishy humans. Carrying over an Explore card from the last scenario, everyone got to start the scenario with a strong armor token. With no way to sneak around the lurk, the battered Assaultron decides that a good defense is a strong offense and charges. A good solid hit, but only one damage gets through. The AI Radstag heads to its first target, the corner of the board. Biv the Robo-Brain charges in alongside the battered Assaultron. With a bonus green die for outnumbering and a bonus black die for the charge, he's able to push 3 more damage through the crab's tough carapace. The Mirelurk Queen wanders around, not caring about the Radstags. I guess it's not hungry. As the next best melee combatant, the Mechanist also charges in and finishes off the Mirelurk before it even gets a chance to react. The Robo-Brain was readied with the Mechanist in case a 4th charge was necessary against the Mirelurk, but it wasn't. So, our well-healed friend was able to head off towards the loot. The Stingwing smells blood, and charges in against one of the organic targets in range. This is not good because their attack can inflict poison, and we have no way to negate that at the moment. Fortunately, the bug had a move plus charge, so there is an opportunity to hit it before it can attack. Our tech rushes forward and finds a Nightkin? Maybe? We decide to press on. This is the Commonwealth, so it probably isn't a Nightkin, right? The Bloatfly buzzes along, not concerned by anyone else. The second Radstag also continues along its predetermined path. At the end of turn 1, lots of dust is getting kicked up on the left side of the map, and we've started moving towards objectives. But the bottom and right sides are staying fairly quiet. So far. Start of turn 2, and the rockets are seen overhead. This makes sense given that we're still enjoying our strong armor bonus given by the Bright Brotherhood. To start the turnout, the Mechanist uses the Program Act perk to do their double ready trick. The battered Assaultron charges in and swats 2 damage onto the bug. The Mechanist follows up with 2 decent hits, but 3 more damage isn't quite enough to drop it. The Radstag continues its journey across the map. The Robo-Brain throws itself into the melee and slashes 3 more damage into the bug, vivisecting it with the Assaultron blade. The Bloatfly meanders. Fortunately, the imaginary Nightkin is, in fact, imaginary, so it doesn't hit our free tech as he finds nothing. Free from his imaginary concerns, he presses on and finds some Queen Mirelurk meat. Not sure how that meat got there when there's still a Queen Mirelurk wandering around, but we're not going to think about that. Next up is the Queen Mirelurk, who was too distracted by the rockets to do much. She wanders around, staring at the rockets as they fade into the distance. The Protectron uncovers a locked item, but he's incapable of unlocking it, so he moves on to the next possible item. The final Radstag also continues its journey across the map, not getting aggroed by anything around it. End of turn 2. The active threats have been dealt with, and we finally recovered one item. At the start of turn 3, a mole rat pops out of the center of the map and is angry about all the activity around its warren. Using the double activation trick again, the Mechanist and the battered Assaultron advance to the right. As long as a robot is within the Mechanist's black aura, they gain the lockpick ability based on their agility, so the battered Assaultron can't make the attempt this turn, but it will next turn, as long as the Mechanist doesn't move out of range. The mole rat in the center nips at the Mechanist, but even with a double armor break, can't put any damage through. The Radstags keep radstaggering across the map. The Protectron steps up, finds nothing, and then drills a laser beam between the bloatfly's bulbous little eyes. The Mirelurk Queen stays unperturbed, and continues wandering. The Freetech advances and is just shy of the item on his first move. And with his second move, discovers nothing. Not a lucky turn for items at all. Not wanting to get left behind, Biv scoots ahead as quickly as he can. However, this angers the Radstag. It charges the brain in a bot, with great fury, but little effect. At the end of turn 3, another potential threat is down, but the Radstags are getting restless. Not a lot of good item recovery, and there are only 2 more chances left on the board, so as long as the Mirelurk Queen doesn't get antsy, it should be a fairly clear road out of the scenario. At the start of turn 4, on top of the angry mole rat, it turns out that this area also has mines. The Assaultron fails to pick the lock, then fails to disable the dart trap, but recovers an assault gas mask anyways. Tired of all this failure, it charges the Radstag and prepares to make rad venison. The Mechanist joins the fray and saws 2 damage into the stag, and gets charged from behind by the other one in response. The tech moves up and uncovers a robot repair kit. That might actually be helpful. The angrier Radstag knocks a point of damage into Biv and bucks him out of combat. Swinging wildly, he rejoins the fight with a devastating attack. Or it would have been if he hadn't missed horribly. The Mirelurk Queen is above all this violence, and wanders over to the left side of the map. The Protectron tries its best to protect, but ends up zapping a point of damage onto Biv. Oops. At the end of turn 4, all searchables have been searched, and there are some angry deer, but it might just be time to go. At the start of turn 5, it's so hot that no numerical modifiers help for ranged attacks. Good thing most of the combat right now is melee focused. The Mechanist takes 1 swat at the Radstag, but fails to do any damage. Rather than stay and play though, they decide to start bugging out. The parting shot from the left Radstag misses. The right one doesn't get a parting attack because it's still engaged with Biv. The Assaultron's first swipe cleaves a whopping 4 damage off the Radstag. Charge and outnumbered bonuses are always a big help. The second one does the rest, and the stag is down. Maybe smelling the blood in the air did the trick, because the Mirelurk Queen has gotten angry and charges into the closest thing to her, which is, fortunately for us, the other Radstag. Seeing an enraged giant crab charge a 2-headed deer is about enough for the Freetech, who legs it off the map with the booty. The Radstag tries valiantly, and actually pokes 2 damage into the Queen. Biv also takes this opportunity to book it, as does the fancy Protectron. At the end of turn 5, the board is getting much more clear. Our forces are pressing on, while the wildlife dukes it out. Turn 6 starts, and the Mechanist successfully avoids taking a stun token or a broken arm token. Using Program Act again, the Mechanist and the battered Assaultron are able to rush off with no issues. And that's that. A successful scenario overall, taking no damage to carry into the final battle. The items weren't the most useful, since we're unlikely to need more rad armor, and have plenty of healing food already. The robot repair kit is a very welcome addition, though. Before the final mission, we get to draw and resolve an Explore card. This is a huge boon, as it gives us 2 really useful pieces of gear. A grenade to call down an artillery strike, and a bobby pin, which can be used to make lockpicking easier. These were totally randomly drawn, but are definitely what I would have picked if I had the choice. What luck! This was the last scenario where we had to rush from west to east, grabbing all the items we can find while dodging angry wildlife. The next part is the campaign finale, and a reckoning for the Institute. Keep safe out there in the wasteland.